You currently watching our video on the Midnight Questions YouTube channel, but have you ever wondered how you're seeing and hearing us right now? After a little thought, you might realize that our data is coming through the router in your home, which is connected to the internet. But where does the internet that your router is connected to come from? You might say that you're contracted with a certain company and pay them a monthly subscription, and they send the internet to your router from their source. But we still haven't answered the question, where do these internet companies and all the other internet companies in any given country get their internet from? Some might think that the internet comes from a specific source or country, but the reality is quite different. Welcome, I'm Davis, and in this episode of Midnight Questions, we will answer the question, where does the internet come from? But before we begin, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get our latest videos. Let's start by debunking the myth that there is a specific entity that owns the internet and distributes it worldwide, and that this entity has the power to cut off internet access to a specific country or place and redirect it to another country or place. This is simply not true because the internet cannot be owned by a single entity. The internet is built on shared ownership, and the collective ownership concept is what drives the internet to operate as it does today. To understand this concept more clearly, let's go back to the 1950s in America, when the main goal was to connect computers together, even if it was only for a short period of time. The purpose of this was to serve soldiers in case there was a war between America and another country. That is why the U.S. Department of Defense created an agency called the Advanced Research Projects Agency, ARPA, whose primary goal was to create an initial network that would connect computers together. In 1969, the agency succeeded in its mission, and a messaging network was established that allowed messages to be sent between computers, one at the University of California and the other at the Stanford Research Institute, both located in the same state. This event can be considered the first building block of the internet as we know it today, upon which all internet services were built. Now, you might be wondering, if I said earlier that the internet is not owned by anyone, how can it be that the U.S. Department of Defense created the internet? To clarify the concept of internet ownership, let's go back in time to the first internet connection between the University of California and Stanford University. If we ask the question of who owns the internet network connecting them, we will find that it is not owned by either of them. We can answer this question in another way and say that it is owned by both of them, as each of them needs the other for sending and receiving information. Moreover, there is no single source in the internet network. It is simply a wire connecting two places, so each place can be considered a source for the other. This simple sentence summarizes the story of the internet worldwide. The internet does not have a source from which it flows, as some believe it might have originated from a particular country like the United States. However, at the same time, the United States is not the source from which the internet flows. The internet does not flow in one direction, but it is a system of sending and receiving. Let's now clarify the shape of the internet map in the world. The internet is a large network that allows information exchange between all countries, and this network connects all countries together through large submarine cables, satellites, or any other means of connection. However, the matter is usually based on cables, a huge amount of copper or fiber optic cables that connect countries together and run through deserts, mountains, seas, and oceans. The ends of these cables are connected to servers that follow protocols or a common language so that devices can understand each other. The important task of communication is achieved successfully. Thirdly, when these cables enter a country, they begin to branch into several branches. These branches are then divided among the major internet companies in the country, and each company takes a specific branch and starts dividing it among its customers, creating its own private network. Does this mean that America is essential in all networks? If communication between the world and America is cut off, would the internet be disconnected worldwide? In reality, if America disappeared completely from the world, the internet would continue to function normally. If someone from France wants to communicate with someone in Germany, they can do so easily because they are connected to a network that is not related to America. The only impact that would occur is that we would not be able to communicate with anyone in America because there would be no wires or networks connecting us to them, and they would not be able to receive our news either. In the event that communication is cut off with America, what could happen to websites like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and others? Since Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube represent the entire internet for a large sector of people, Would that sector be disconnected if the internet went down? However, these websites are just platforms on the internet and do not represent the entire internet. The internet is full of an infinite number of websites and platforms, and any country can create its own internet network that no one can interfere with or disconnect. Therefore, we believe that the internet belongs to everyone. In conclusion, we have answered the question of where the internet comes from, and anyone can create their own internet network. Therefore, the internet would not be disconnected if communication with America was cut off. Thank you for watching this channel, and if you liked the video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to receive our videos as soon as they are released.